diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me once again Blake Mitchell out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. He's an offensive lineman there. How you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. So I mean, you now there at Chattanooga. You got Mox gear on now.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I know.
how does it feel to wear like another team's gear, man? That's got to be kind of funny now because I mean, you were at Austin P there for a while, right?
I was there for 2 years. So yeah, I mean it was definitely a little different. New colors. So I had to definitely call the family and get them to change up the color schemes and some of the stuff around the house. But yeah, it's been awesome. I've enjoyed the transition.
Gotcha. How about jersey number? Has that changed too?
So it changed back. Actually, I was 54 at Mississippi State, and then I was 53 at Austin P. Somebody else had 54, and now I'm 54 again at
All right, all
Chattanooga.
right. So you talking a little bit about that journey. So why don't you go ahead and catch everybody up who maybe doesn't already know you? So walk us through your journey a little bit. Maybe just kind of starting really just where you're from. So go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm from Brentwood, Franklin area. I went to Innsbruck High School. Um, Graduated from Innsbruck in 2016. Went to Mississippi State as a walk-on. I played there for 3 years, under Coach Mullen for 2 years, and then under Coach Joe Moorhead my last year. And then the tight ends coach at Mississippi State was Mark Hudson. He got the head job at Austin P, and I wound up following him to Austin P and played up there for 2 years. And after my first season, he wound up losing his job and all that stuff happened. I played the COVID season, the little 3 games there. I graduated and wound up, entering the transfer portal again and wound up in Chattanooga. Um, and now looking forward to sixth year, which I didn't expect having.
So 6 years, man. I mean, you got a few different degrees under your belt now. I mean, how's that going on?
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely sports management was not something whenever I started going to school I thought I'd ever be in. But I'm excited to be in it now. Excited to take it on this fall and then finish it up after I'm done playing ball.
Cool. Well, I mean, at the very least, I mean, if someone else is paying for you to go to school, I mean, and play football, I mean, hey, man, get it in, get as much in as you can. So
100%. I get to chase my dream and get an education while I'm doing it, and I feel very blessed to be able to do those two things.
great. So again, an offensive lineman played center, at least mostly as far as I know, there at Austin P. Where can we typically find you there on the football field? Can you just kind of talk about that?
So as a player, I feel comfortable at the interior three, left guard, center, and right guard all feel very natural to me. I feel like I can switch it up pretty easily. I definitely feel that I'm strongest at center. I think I can help a team the most there. Um, but yeah, or either guard is where I feel like I fit in the most offenses.
And what do you feel is like, I don't know, maybe one of the better attributes that you bring to the table as a prospect? So go for it.
I'd probably say my mentality and also my work ethic. I mean, I love the film room. I love knowing an offense forward and backward, as well as knowing the defense I'm about to be up against. And then once the game hits, I think my biggest attribute is just always playing to the whistle. And if I'm responsible for somebody, I'm going to be on that dude.
Gotcha. So, I mean, again, now out playing for the Mox. You already got the Mox, shirt and stuff. So, like you said, you got to switch this color scheme up everywhere. But Talk to me about some of the people that you've been able to meet there, whether it be the coaches or your teammates now. So, talk to me a little bit about those guys as you've kind of transitioned into their program.
So one of the interesting parts about Chattanooga is my old roommate from Mississippi State is Harrison Moon, who's the starting left tackle at Chattanooga, about to have his seventh year. So I'm back with a familiar face on the O line. We were roommates and already have a chemistry there. Are still very close friends. Live in the same apartment complex now. But every year I train in Atlanta. Um, at a gym down there. And so I've trained with Harrison a lot, even whenever we were at different schools. And I've met a lot of the guys from our team now. So the transition was pretty easy. I already knew a couple guys on the team. I worked out with McClendon before and had been around Harrison a lot. I'd been around Chris James, our tight end. I came in, I've gotten to know the guys really well. The O line gels really well together and spends a lot of time together. So it hasn't felt like much of a learning curve. Felt like I kind of came into a family that was already developed and just kind of fit in with the guys.
Cool. I mean, obviously, a lot of great talent there. I mean, I've actually been fortunate enough to sit down with several of them. I mean, talking to guys like Chris James, McClendon Curtis, Cole Strange, a lot of guys there like that are on that offense. Definitely a good core group there that you're able to come into the mix. So hopefully you get some playing time, man, because I mean there's a lot of guys that are vying for that starting job there at center. So you feel confident in that or what?
I've wherever I've been, I've never really backed down from a challenge. Ever since I went to Mississippi State as a walk-on, I always knew that I was going to have to outwork everybody to even see the field. And that mentality's never really left me. So we'll keep working through camp, and I'm confident that the starting five that'll be out there for the mocks will be the best five that we have.
Cool, man. Well, I mean, obviously, you're very motivated. I mean, hopefully you'll get a chance to start out there for them this fall. Kind of want to talk about a couple moments in your career, if you don't mind, because I just think that they're kind of interesting. For most guys, I actually asked them to talk about maybe one of their highlights, but I want to talk about your first start there at Austin P and your last start. So talk to me about your first start there. Whenever you first got there when you transferred. Go for it.
My first start was against North Carolina Central. Um, I'd been in a lot of big stadiums at Mississippi State, so I felt like this is going to be nothing. It's a smaller stadium, less crowd noise, not a problem. And we stepped on the field for the first snap, and I was as nervous as I've ever been. And I just remember that game just kind of after the first quarter, kind of settling in, and we wound up, beating them pretty good, and just felt on top of the world, really. And it was all up from there. I didn't grade out great that game, and I remember that was something that was pretty disappointing to me, but not super surprising, just with how nervous I was. And then my last start was against um, Cincinnati this past fall, and that was a tough game. I actually broke my hand in the fourth quarter. Uh, Continued playing, uh, but yeah, it was a tough game, but I graded out really well. I was feeling good. I played well against them. I felt like I put up some great tape. But through an injury at the end of it, so I felt like I did well for my last start at that school.
That's kind of interesting. I mean, Cincinnati's an excellent program. I mean, they had an excellent run last season. I don't think they actually saw a loss until I think their bowl game was like the only loss they ever had. But fantastic team overall there. So hats off to those guys. They have an excellent program that they're running. But how's your hand, man? You're doing okay these days with that hand, like. Um,
100%, 100%. Like it never happened. It was a break right in the middle of it. Right in the middle. It didn't shift or anything. Didn't have to have surgery. It healed back just like brand new in 3 or 4 weeks.
Cool. So you're okay, like punching a punching bag and stuff. Like you're good
Oh
with
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I do.
Cool.
I actually train an MMA gym in Chattanooga whenever I have some free time. So
Gotcha.
I've definitely put it through the test.
Well, hey man, want to make sure that that hand's fine. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, definitely had to get that in. So you said also that you were training at a place in Atlanta. Can you shout them out real quick where you were training?
Yeah, I trained at Velocity. It's an offensive line gym down there in Canton, Georgia. Uh, they've got an awesome program. They've got everybody from middle school to the NFL that comes in there and trains and does their programs. They've got it really going on. I've gone to them for 3 years now, and just really love it up there. I was there yesterday. Really love those guys. They got an awesome program, working with everybody from kids to professional athletes. They're very professional and treat everybody the same and give everybody the same attention. I really respect that about them.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of guys that go down there. Like in the pre-draft process, you're probably gonna end up going back down there, training up and such. And definitely fun to get down there and compete. So.
Oh yeah.
Um, couple more questions I want to ask you. Some of which are, well, at least one of which is kind of a psychological thing, and the other one I just think is kind of fun. So, first off, hey man, if you could change one thing about this game of football, anything that you could think of, any rule, any concept, anything you could think of, what comes to mind?
Oh, I mean, shoot, the first thing that comes to mind is changing holding calls because we get tired of those on the offensive line. Um, but I mean, yeah, I think that's what I'd go with. I wish holding was a lot more legal. I feel like D linemen get to do it all the time and don't get called for it. Maybe we could all do it and even the playing field a little bit.
Well, hey, man. I mean, you never know. I mean, obviously, it's hand placement. Like, as long as you got them like here, you're fine. If you got them out here, then you're probably going to get caught. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
just that's just kind of how it goes. But if you could give your younger self some advice, go back in time a little bit, talk to maybe your high school self, and tell him really how he can have like the most successful journey in college. What would you tell him?
I can go back. I'd like to tell my younger self that you need to keep very thick skin. Uh, early on in my career, I think that was something that kind of got to me. You hear, coach get on to you, or you get called out in front of a group or in front of a team, and you let it get to you, get you down for a day or two, and you wind up, putting together some bad practices from it. And I think I could have taken a lot more advantage of a few specific cases if I wouldn't have let that get to me and just worked through it. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned is no matter what people say or what happens, like you just gotta continue to work to keep your head down.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of one of the first things that they teach you. Some people, it's just really the way that they coach. Some people are like all in your face. Like some people scream at you, kind of like a drill sergeant, and you kind of just have to, you know, keep a level head. Like don't like just keep doing your job. I mean, really tough at times, especially for young guys that are like 18 years old.
Yeah,
To not like to just keep their cool and just kind of stay focused. So. Um,
absolutely. Shoot, 6 years in three schools, I've had plenty of offensive line coaches, so I've seen a little bit of it all.
Right. Hey, let's talk about who Blake Mitchell is outside of football. Talk to me a little bit about yourself, your hobbies, your interests, really anything that you want to share, anything maybe that you want to plug. Go for it, man.
Well, being from Nashville, I was raised by a man that was from middle of nowhere in Mississippi. So I basically live outside. I love hunting and fishing. Took my boat to Chattanooga this summer. Got a bunch of the guys out on there on the boat with me, and we were catching some big old catfish. And I've got a picture of one. Uh, caught,
Yeah, that's a
we were
doozy, man. That's a
yeah,
big
we
one.
we were we were catching some monsters out there, and that's as far as recreation time, that's what I love doing. But as far as more of a serious note, I've always had a passion for mental health and helping people that are struggling with any range of mental health issues that are out there. And that's something I look to help with in the future and even help with now. And so I'm starting to try to set up some dates to start speaking and telling my story at high schools, wherever that be, starting up, here anytime, and trying to figure out a good schedule for me to go and tell my story and hopefully impact anybody.
Gotcha. A couple more questions along the lines of just kind of outside of football sorts of questions. So, uh, you have a favorite movie of all time? Is there a movie that really sticks out as to one of your favorites?
Um, no, it's corny, but probably the all-time favorite movie is Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
I think it's one of the funniest movies ever made, and I can literally remember me and my dad driving to school early because he had one of those little portable DVD players. We would go to school like an hour and a half early, and we watched like most of the movie, and then I'd go to school in elementary school. I was in like second or third grade.
Well, are you still watching all these other Will Ferrell movies out there?
The
Those.
past couple years, I've been a little let down with some of the more recent ones.
All right. Well, I mean, it's interesting with Will Ferrell. Some people are really like they love him, and then some people completely just he just turns off people. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
obviously, there being a Tennessee boy, I know you're not in Tennessee right now, but tell me a little bit about your hometown. Is there like a place there that we would have to go? Like if I were to come visit you there in Tennessee?
So, Nashville, I feel like everybody knows Hattie B's is the big one. You got to eat at Hattie B's. Uh, Nashville hot chicken. That place is awesome. And then another great spot is the Sporting Clay Range. Nashville Sporting Clays is an awesome spot. That's where we used to go out and shoot clays all the time.
Neat. I think I've been to Nashville once, and we were there like it was like a bad day. I don't know what it was. It's like we were there on a Monday, like all the monuments were closed, and
Man,
I think it even rained, man. So I mean, it was like probably one of the worst days that we were out in Nashville. Hopefully, we can make it out there again. Just to kind of really experience a lot of the
yeah,
things there. So,
got to
uh,
give it another shot.
oh, I totally will. It's really just all a matter of getting out. Um, all right, dude. As we begin to wrap up, I always ask guys, just give me your why, your motivation. Talk to me about why you play this game of football.
Um, the easy answer is, I've done it since I was a kid, and I was good at it, and so I just kept on chasing and building my goals, and you know, it was something I loved, and I learned that early on. On a more real note, I learned from a young age that whenever you build your platform, as I like to call it, and your circle of influence gets bigger, and the people you can touch, their lives in any form, uh, uh, gets larger. And there's more people you can help. And so, with my passion for mental health and everything, the more I build my career, the more I become a bigger name in football, the more I'm able to reach out and help people that I think are are in need of help.
Great. And I want you to give your pitch to all these, professional teams out there. Tell them why they need to take a chance on you. Maybe sign you, bring you into their program. What kind of teammate would you be?
I'm somebody that not only am I a guy that's going to push the pace of workouts and push everybody as far as uh, whatever we're doing on the field or off the field. But I'm somebody that even in the locker room, whenever you have guys that are off of themselves or guys that just think they're going to come in and play ball, like I think developing real relationships with people is so important, and that's something I bring to the table. And then also just bringing team chemistry together and bringing teammates together.
Well, I mean, definitely a guy there that is, gonna be in on the interior, maybe playing center. You got to be able to communicate with, the rest of your teammates there. I mean, especially when you're reading those defenses, you got to get those cues to people. So, I mean, I know that you're a very good communicator, very good teammate, good locker room guy. very competitive also, really just having an opportunity to play against a lot of great talent, whether it be in the SEC or there at Austin P. And now you get a chance to prove yourself once again there at Tennessee Chattanooga. So I wish you best of luck, Blake. I mean,
So
it's gonna be one heck of a season now, getting a chance to play this fall, because I know
yeah,
it's been a while since we've played. So again, man, wish you best of luck. All right,
thank you so much. Thank you. And we'll be out there chasing a ring this year for the mock.
right. All right, man. Blake Mitchell, offensive lineman, Chattanooga. Guy, check him out.
Yeah.